doing? My name's Dave, and if you're gonna tap on the glass with your fingers, you can call me Daveypoo, the mobile music minstrel. How you doing? Hey, today I'm gonna be looking at Velocity Keyboard by Blue Mango. The nice folks at Blue Mango said to me, hey, we noticed you've got a Behringer Model D, and I said, yes, indeed I do. And they said, would you be interested in trying out our new MPE keyboard app? And I said, yes, indeed I would. And so we have an agreement, and so here you go. I really like this app. I gotta say, I really like the keyboard. I'm not really a playing on the screen guy. And, you know, the more that these apps come out, the more I would be interested in changing my ways. You know, I have a couple apps that I like. You know, if you watch my other videos, you saw that I did one on steel guitar, and I did Blue Mango's iFretless bass as well. I think that thing's a killer app. Well, this uses the same technology as iFretless bass, so they magically managed to make this thing touch sensitive, which I think is really impressive. But it also sends MIDI CC messages for a number of other movements as well, and gestures. So let's run through some of what Velocity Keyboard has to offer here. Let's talk about how I've got it set up. So of course I'm in 8 Matrix today. I have the audio of my Behringer Model D running out into my Behringer UMC 404 HD interface. That's coming back into the iPad here, and it's running into Amazing Noises limiter. That's to boost up the volume. The output from the UMC 404 HD is not all that hot, so that kicks it up to where it's a nice usable level. I have it running straight to the output of 8 Matrix. I also have it running into Tornado. We're going to get to Tornado in a little bit. That's a missed routing right there. That's how we have the audio routed. Here's how we have the MIDI routed. I've got Velocity Keyboard sending MIDI out to here, my UMC 404 HD right there. Okay, pretty straightforward connection. If I fire it up, you'll hear that it is indeed making notes. Down an octave. Now, hey, look at that. It works. So, if you guys like the video, no, I'm just kidding. I want to do more with this. Now, one of the problems I have here is that this is an MPE keyboard. What does that mean? MPE stands for MIDI Polyphonic Expression. And if I'm incorrect, I will correct myself with a subtitle. But I've been known to make mistakes from time to time. I've also been known to be right from time to time. So, hey, here's fact checking for you. So, anyway, what that means is that this app can send out MIDI messages for not just pressing down on the key, but some other aspects as well. First thing is the Blue Mango folks have managed to make this thing touch sensitive. So the harder that you hit on the glass, it can use that pressure as some other MIDI control message. Now the problem is though, the Behringer Model D does not receive MIDI CC messages. It only receives an incoming keyboard notes, and it'll do the mod wheel and the bend. Other than that, it will not receive MIDI CC messages. So while this is great, how do I get the full use out of this keyboard? Because this keyboard can do much more than just play the Model D, right? Anything can do that. So here, I've got this running through Tornado. Turn all this down for a second. Now I got a little miniature version of Tornado over here. What I've done is I've gone into Velocity Keyboard over here, and I've mapped Y coordinate CC to CC15, distance to 14, velocity to 13, and up here a touch radius to 16. And those are all mapped to the top 4 knobs here in Tornado and this bottom one as well. Let's talk a little bit about what I've done here. Since the Behringer cannot receive MIDI CC messages, I've taken Velocity Keyboard and I'm also sending MIDI signals out to Tornado, which is receiving those signals and affecting the signal, the effects here that are built into Tornado. Now, Tornado is a music effect. What does that mean? So there are different categories of AUs, and if you look at the top here, if I look at all, this is every AU I have. There's instruments, there's sound generators, there's just MIDI things, but you've also got effects and FXM. FXM is a music effect or a MIDI effect, and what that means is it can receive MIDI data. All of these effects can usually send some sort of MIDI data, but not a lot of them can actually receive MIDI commands. So these are the few here that I have under FX music effect as to which ones can receive MIDI. So I have Tornado here, and you can see that shows up here as a MIDI receiver and a MIDI sender. Now, I'm going to go down to the bottom here. I'm going to show you. If I were to add just Tornado as an effect, so notice it's at the very bottom. Okay, I don't need to have the audio mapped anywhere. It shows up as a sender here, but it does not show up as a receiver here because this is only an effect, not a music effect. So that's the difference for you. Let's move that. Okay. So I've made Tornado very small so that you can see me both playing the keyboard and seeing the knobs move in Tornado. The knob 1 here and knob 5 here, I use Tornado because it's a music effect and also because the knobs are nice and big and you can see them move. Okay, so 1 and 5 are mapped to pressure. When I hit harder, they will be higher. Knob 2 and 3 are mapped to the y-axis in some way. There are 2 ways the y-axis can be affected. You can map depending on where you hit from the bottom of the key to the top of the key. Okay, so anywhere you hit here will be where the dial is on the knob over here. The other one is when you press down, then you can move up or down, and it registers from where you pressed. That's the 0 point, and then you can go up and down from there. So let me show you. I've got all of these mapped right now. And so you're going to see the knobs going haywire, but here's what's happening. Pressure is 1 and 5. So the harder I hit, if I hit nice and light, I only get a little. But if I hit really hard, okay, so that's 1 and 5. Now, 2 is the y-axis, but it's registered by where I press is the center point. So if I press at the top, that's now the center point. If I press at the bottom, that's now the center point. See? Bottom, top. Okay. 3 is just wherever I hit on the y-axis, I believe. Well, maybe not. Let's see what we got going on here. So knob 3. Let's see what knob 2 is. I'm going to edit this. 14. Knob 2 is 14. Knob 4 is 16. So this should be 15. Yep, it's 15. So let's see what 15's mapped to here. If I go to the control settings. 15 is Y coordinate. And then there's Y distance is 14. So let's see. Maybe it's the way that it's mapped. Let's see. Ah, you see, I didn't have the throw of the MIDI control being the entire knob. And that explains that. So now, let's try again. If I go here, bottom of the knob is okay, it's there. So if I hit at the bottom of the key, you notice that the knob is all the way down at 0. If I hit at the top of the key, you'll notice that the knob's way up at the top. As opposed to 2, which is affected by, again, the center point is wherever I put my finger. Okay, so that's that. It's a little confusing, and they are subtly different, but they could be really effective depending on, how you map them. Now, granular, number 4. This is how I've got this map. There is what's called a touch radius. So I found that if I roll my finger and I roll to the pad of my finger, the radius at which I'm touching the screen is bigger, and that is can be used to send a MIDI CC message. So I've got it here on granular, so I can do something like this. Okay, so when you roll my finger. So I don't play on the screen. I'm not really good at it. I've spent years learning how to play the bass and stuff and the keyboards, and so it's hard for me to learn how to do it on the glass. But this was less to be musically exciting, this video, and it was more to show you the possibility of what you can do. Even if you have a piece of hardware that can't receive MIDI messages, you can still use those MIDI messages in interesting ways, and you can see now how I've mapped them here in Tornado. Other things that you've got in Velocity Keyboard, you have these 4 knobs up top. Those are all MIDI mappable too. Of course, you can switch octaves, and you can go way up high. Way down low. Let's turn all these off. Let's bypass Tornado for now, so that you guys just. So there you go. That is using your iPad as a controller to control external hardware using Velocity Keyboard, an AUV3 MPE MIDI controller for your iPad. So, Blue Mango, thanks for this. Man, I really had a lot of fun playing with this. Your technology is pretty amazing, and I don't know how you made this thing touch sensitive when the iPad itself isn't touch sensitive, and how you did that differently from touch radius, because I would have thought that would have been the same thing. So I don't know what kind of wizardry you guys are doing over there with your alchemy and your, dragon's teeth and your lizard snot and all that stuff to make this thing magical, but it is magical, and so I don't want to ask too many questions. But hey, I hope you guys liked the video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you do. It help the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Put a comment down below if you have any questions. There'll be links in the description for all the stuff in here, and go out and tell all your friends, go on social media and say everything that's great about Daveypoo, and I'm really cool, and I hope you liked it, and I can't keep having my voice go like this because I don't know what's going on, and I'll see you guys next time, baby. Later.